What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the No Counts Given podcast, your premier place to talk all things dance. I'm your host, Kyle Rush, and today's episode is going to look and feel very different than, honestly, I think anything I've actually done, to be quite honest with you. All right, let me tell you guys about the day I've had so far. It's been an interesting day. All right, I woke up this morning, 7 a.m., like I do just about every morning now. I made myself a cup of coffee as I was preparing and thinking how I'm going to go about today's episode. I made my cup of coffee and then my eyes were like very dry this morning. So I left my eye drops in my car. I get up, I go get my eye drops, I grab my eye drops. I go back inside, I take out the trash, I do like a few little chores. My cup of coffee I just made is missing. You guys, tore my house up and down looking for this cup of coffee. It is now, 5 hours later since I did that this morning, and I still have not found that cup of coffee. It is gone. Okay. Went had a great rest of my morning. Got a haircut. It looks good, doesn't it? Went back to my former barber. Had to go get my haircut. Had to get myself just in the mindset to talk about all of the things I want to talk about for today. I get back from my barber and I pull into my driveway. And in my homepage on my phone, I have my co-star there. So I always get my co-star alerts. I don't even know what happened. I think somehow I clicked on it and it opened up. And my co-star opened up and it said, every love song on the radio right now is about you, which is really funny because today is like a gloomy day. It's like raining outside. It's a rainy day in Los Angeles. And I was like, let's see what's on the radio. I just clicked the radio button in my car.
Chickity, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Chickity, check.
I said, okay, universe, I hear you loud and clear. So before we go about today, listen, I'm going to actually check myself for a minute. I think it's very important as I go. Oh, by the way, we're talking about UDA College Nationals 2026. Hello. That's what we're talking about today. I didn't even say that. Oopsie. Okay. I think it's very important that I give a clear point of view of the way that my mindset works around UDA. Okay. I grew up watching UDA. I think I started 2010. It was like the year that they introduced Palm is when I started watching UDA. And I was 15 at the time, as a young boy who was just so in love with dance. I watched it year after year after year after that. I would study every single team. I would explain what they're doing to my grandma. Like what you guys see me do on TikTok is quite what I would do like growing up with my family and with my friends. Actually, funny story, I watched and studied UDA so much. So, if you're watching a YouTube video, like if I'm directly watching it, it's not mirrored, right? So this is my right hand, you're watching it, it's probably your left hand, right? Yeah, I had to check. I'm like, wait a minute, check yourself, Kyle. I studied it so much that I actually taught myself left turns from watching. I would prep the way. So if I'm mirroring them, right? So I would be prepping on my left and I would do left turns. And I became like a master at left turns by watching UDA College Nationals. Okay. Went on, just continue watching it for years. I watched the way it evolved throughout the years when they started introducing the music licensing and the music laws, how that changed just how teams were bringing new routines and bringing new concepts and how they would try and get away with or get around the rules and all of the things. Okay. I started talking very publicly online about UDA, right? No one was doing it at the time. It's so funny when I think about it, like that was only 4 UDAs ago. And like this year was the first year I actually had to stop scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or anything because it would be like UDA, 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 which is different from years past where I would scroll and it'd be like turn combination, turn combination, turn combination. They're fun to watch, right? This year it was like opinion. We're just going to talk about my opinion, okay? Opinion. Going on, like it actually overwhelmed me. So it's just so funny to see like how it's changed throughout the years, right? Now, I wouldn't say the feelings that I have is not towards UDA. Okay, it's towards varsity, but same thing, right? It's mainly towards varsity. Okay. I've had instances in the past and I've had instances when I was coaching, when I was a choreographer, like these different instances where I just didn't quite feel like varsity handled the situation I was going through in the best light. And the way that I would hear varsity talk about supporting athletes and safety and all of these things, all these messages they have playing the commercials in on Flow Cheer or Varsity TV, whatever it is. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I hear them, it like just sends like chills up my spine because I'm like, it didn't relate when it was me. But that's a whole different podcast episode, which is it's out there. So if you go dig in the archives of No Counts Given, we're only 41 episodes in. So it is in there. You could find where I talk about a lot of those things. Okay. However, UDA is a competition that I fell in love with very early on. Okay. And I can, in my head, sometimes separate UDA from varsity, vice versa. And I appreciate the platform that UDA has brought dance team, content creators like myself, podcast hosts, conventions, recruiting events. UDA really has platformed dance team on this large scale. Okay. And with that comes this level of prestige, right? Prestige in the way the event is run, prestige in the teams that are attending, prestige in the judging, prestige in just anything that is going on in that event should be held to a prestigious level. You know, the coaches that are coaching at this UDA level are prestigious coaches. The athletes are prestigious athletes. The event has to cater to serve its customers. These customers are paying thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands to this company. And we're going to talk about all of those things. So quick little rant for you. That just kind of explains whatever I kind of ranted. But honestly, if you watch the No Counts Given podcast, if you watched me on live before, you know, I'm a ranter. ADHD final boss, 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay, now before we get into talking about everything, listen, I have to give some trigger warnings. I don't know how to appropriately do this. I'm going to be very honest with you. So I'm going to try my best. Listen, I'm going to be talking about representation and cultural foundation. If that is a trigger for you, click out. The X is up there. Okay. I'm talking about inspiration versus imitation. If you just got triggered, exit out up there. Okay. We're talking about Instagram choreography pipelines. You heard me. Click the X up there. We're talking about selective visibility. If you just got triggered, it's up there. All right. We're talking about holding judges accountable. It's up there. We're talking about media control, narrative limitations. It's up there. And the last one I'm going to talk about, I actually really do have to give I feel like its own trigger warning. So we will do that when we get there. Okay. Before we get into all of that though, I have some quick hot topics I want to talk about. Okay. And actually let me pull out the sheet that I need for this first one. All right, the first topic that we are going to talk about, LSU versus UNLV. Listen, I don't know when the internet all became certified varsity UDA judges because they already cracked it. They already clocked all of us. They cracked my face when they said UNLV is winning because of tricks. No. Listen, there's one huge problem that we have here, and it is not the community and it is not the public trying to speculate why someone won over the other. The reason there is speculation and the reason that there is able to be speculation, I hope I just said that correctly, is because varsity gatekeeps the captions and all of the division averages. What we see is the final score. We do not see all of the division averages. We are not seeing which judge left which caption. We're not seeing any of those things, okay? But if you look and you actually do the math and you think about it on a little bit of an analysis point of view, here's what I will tell you, okay? Between semifinals and finals, UNLV and Delaware, Division 1A hip hop, had the highest score jumps. UNLV had a 2.5833 score jump, and Delaware had a 2.333 score jump. Go and watch both of those routines. Now, I'm not trying to say that they are similar. That's not what I'm trying to say. Think about the vibe, think about the textures, think about the way that they're using the stage, think about they can both fit in the same pocket of dance team hip hop. Okay, so my thought process immediately goes to that style choice for dance team hip hop was a judge's preferred style choice. They preferred the clean lines, the quick isolations, the clear pictures, the doing choreography to each transition. Like we saw what they favored when we see these score jumps happen. What I would like to know is which judge was added onto the panel and which judge was taken off the panel, or vice versa, to have these happen. Okay. Now we're going to go into the conversation of execution judges versus choreography judges later. I have a great message from TikTok that I would like to share when we get into that, because I think it'll provide a lot more clarity to a lot of people. However, I talked about this in an episode a while ago. Okay. I had a meeting with varsity. It was about almost like a year ago to the date. Okay. Pointless meeting. They asked me, what can they do to help me in my content creation journey? I said, release the captions. That is the only request I had. Maybe I had one more, but I said, release the captions. Okay. I feel like that is very important for transparency, especially when the world is watching. Okay, moving on. Co-ed divisions. We don't need co-ed divisions. The argument that boys on dance team is going to make the difficulty of the routine harder because of tricks is absurd. And not even the science, the history doesn't even make sense for that. Okay, we have I'm going to use Hofstra, for example. Hofstra palm is one of the strongest palm routines. Oh, no, sorry. Hofstra alone is one of the most athletic teams at UDA, to be quite honest with you. And they have boys on their team. Do they win every single time? No. So stop. Okay. LSU has beat UNLV when UNLV had boys on the routine. Memphis had a co-ed team. Did they get first place, second place, third place? No. Okay, so enough with the co-ed divisions. No, put it to rest. Tricks do not equal difficulty in dance team. Please understand that. Tricks that you do not equal difficulty in dance team. Okay, I don't think I said this, but you guys are going to keep seeing me look like over here. I wrote a lot of notes for today. Okay, I wrote a lot of notes for today. I need to make sure that I stay on track, and I need to beat this Miss ADHD final boss. So I took a lot of notes. Okay, so that's why I'm looking over here. No, this is not a scripted show. Get out of here with that. Tricks equal difficulty. Oh my gosh, my foot is stuck. I think we put that one to rest. It's not true. Someone please show me where on the captions it shows that, and that the science is there. Guess what? You can, because varsity gatekeeps all of the scores. Okay. All right. Those are my 3 hot topics that I just wanted to get off my chest, because, I just got to give my opinion. No one asked for it. Actually, that's a lie. Yes, you guys did. All right. There are some routines that hit the UDA stage that I just loved. Okay. I could watch them on repeat. I felt like, I don't feel like they were underscored or undervalued, but these are just teams and routines that I just loved. Okay. Now, last season, Dance Team Union flew me out to the College Classic, okay? And I got to watch like D1A. Actually, I was there every single day of the College Classic, and I got to watch it from to semis to finals and how the teams evolved, and got to talk to the judges and just so many people, the owners, and just all these people, right? And at the end right before the final awards, they do this thing called the battle, okay? They pick 3 teams or 4 teams, whether you're D1A, D1, D3, open, whatever it is, okay? You could get chosen to compete in the battle, okay? This is where right before awards, so the arena is packed, okay? There's literally everyone on every single corner, okay? And there's people just right in front of the Marley, hugging the Marley. You're not on it, okay? Trust me, there's rules, okay? You're not on it, but you're hugging the Marley. And there's teams, okay? These teams that are chosen to compete are just circled around the Marley, getting ready to watch the battle, okay? These teams that are chosen, okay? Announcer will be on the mic. All right, here we go. This is actually one of the routines that I listed down for what I would like to see, okay? Because I'm just going to cut to the chase. There are routines that I would love to see in the battle, okay? Now, here's the point. You're not being scored. There's no scores at all, okay? We're only looking at just the overall impression, those wow moments, the crowd response, who was blown away by the routine, what did the energy look like? If you fell, who cares? You're not being scored. It doesn't matter. Did you recover and kick some okay, and get a crowd response? Like, it is one of the most chilling things to watch, and I love it. Okay, so picture this. Everyone's sitting around, okay? Teams are holding hands, okay? Here are the 3 palm routines I would have picked for my battle. University of Wisconsin, palm D1A. Insane routine. Like, this routine was a big jump for Wisconsin, and I'm just so proud of this team. Like, I even said it in my video right when I started. I was like, I don't think I've ever did a Wisconsin video, but guess what? You guys got my attention, okay? We're around the stage. We're holding hands, okay? Wisconsin Palm. Oh, they just got called up. Oh no, you're not going backstage to warm up for 15 minutes. You're hopping on the Marley right now. You're performing a routine. They get in set, they perform, bam, they get off the stage. Next one, Endicott College Open Palm. Bam, they get up. Okay, first of all, Endicott brings a different level of energy year after year, and their work with Shannon is just insane. And that's a partnership that I am very excited for. I do see some kind of title coming towards Endicott, honestly. Okay, Endicott goes, they just killed it. Okay, crowd goes wild. Woo, they get off the floor. Okay, holding hands, everyone, boom. UCSB, D1 Palm, get up. And UCSB is another one. I just got to give major props to. Okay, I think it was Palm semifinals. They finished the day in first place. And I was just so proud. If you guys know me, I'm a Gauchos fan. I love UCSB. I cannot wait one day to see them get the flowers that they deserve. Truly. Okay, those are the three that I chose for what I would have as my palm battle. Okay. Do me a favor, comment down below. List three teams that you feel like. Now, it doesn't have to be everyone in D1A, it doesn't have to be everyone in Open, it doesn't have to be everyone in, come on, learn how to speak, Kyle. It doesn't have to be everyone in D1. Just three palm routines that you truly enjoyed. Comment them down below. I would like to know what you guys would have picked for your palm battle. All right, I have one more. I want to do a hip hop battle. Okay. Okay, so here are the three that I picked. Northwest Community College Open Hip Hop. Now, reason being, I would love to see Northwest. I said this in a video in the past. I would love to see Northwest compete against these D1 and D1A teams. I feel like they could really, yeah. Yeah, I'll just say that. I just feel like they could really, yeah. Okay, and this weekend they just proved that as well too. They were like, I think they outbeat their division. Day 1 was by like 7, 8 points. Varsity said no, we can't have this happen. So they ended up winning by like 5 points instead. Next one, Florida State University Hip Hop. This routine, incredible routine. I was so drawn to the performance and the artistry that they decided to bring, and I'm sure they know this. So when I say this, it's not a dig. It was for the wrong stage. It was for the wrong stage. I just don't see how the song choice could have been so dynamic for like a UDA stage. And that's okay. Maybe their goal was just to go and put on an artistic routine and show the versatility that FSU has. Because if you look at last year and you look at this year, it's like, is this even the same team? And so I appreciate that. I think that's what competition and nationals is for. It's meant to push you and help you grow. All right. And then the last one, UVU hip hop. Okay. 3 routines that I feel like in a hip hop battle would do really good. Comment down below and let me know what your hip hop. I mean, even do like a jazz, even do a jazz battle. That would be fun as well too. But before we get into the nitty gritty, let's talk about some very positive moments that I absolutely love to see from this weekend. Miami highest ranked performance in program history, and the first time a private school advanced to semifinals. Go off, Miami. Let's go. LSU got their highest jazz placement. Let's go. Oregon made it to finals. Listen, if you heard the Oregon story, it is just absolutely inspirational to see what this team did this past weekend. ASU returns and receives 10th place in D1A hip hop. Eastern University went to UDA for the very first time. Villanova placed 6th in game day finals, which was their highest placement ever. Listen, the Fullerton story, and then to go on and win Palm back-to-back titles, it is like, you can't even write that as a story. It is inspirational. It is exciting to see for that team. And I know they were doing it for Destiny. So that was very beautiful. All right, Texas Tech, highest program placement. And to be honest with you guys, I think Texas Tech is my new favorite UDA Palm routine. The amount of times I've watched that routine is insane. Okay. UNLV got back to back. Did they get back to back? Okay, it was back to back hip hop, but I feel like I saw they won like their 9th game day title as well too, which is beautiful. Delaware and D1A hip hop killed it. What did they get? 6th place, 7th place to be pushed up from D1 to D1A. Also, let's just talk about the picture as well too. Delaware would dominate D1 year after year after year after year. And then last season, 2025, D1 hip hop was not their best performance. I don't think they even made it to finals. I could be wrong. And then they get moved up to D1A. And then they get what, 5th, 6th, 7th, one of those in D1A hip hop, it's just brilliant. Like, you can't write these stories. They're beautiful. And then one of my favorite moments was the Ohio State University with LSU holding hands. It was beautiful to see just these teams who compete so fiercely against each other still be a community. It's beautiful to see. I do want to say one thing. It just popped in my head, and this was meant to be on the check yourself, wreck yourself earlier. While I'm scrolling on my TikTok, I do see, and I have been seeing a lot of potential college recruits kind of inserting themselves in the mix of having opinions online. I want to highly encourage these college recruits, whether you're a parent, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a mentor, make sure you are checking your college recruits right now. Whatever team they are hoping to be led by in the future. Weber say St. George, Utah Valley, Grand Valley, or Grand Canyon. I have a list right here. That's why I just read it from there. Whatever team they're hoping to be led by in the future, please make sure they are leading in their footsteps now. If these athletes on these teams are not talking about it, they are not engaging in the drama, they are not sharing opinions online, your dancer does not need to be either. That is a easy way and a quick way to get them removed from any potential list to make it onto a team, okay? It shows character. And if you listen to podcast interviews with college coaches, they preach character time and time and time and time again. You can root for a team. That is fine. Go comment on Ohio State. Let's go. Go kill it, Bucks. Go do all those things. But do not go leave a comment on a TikTok saying UCSB got robbed. Don't do that. All right. I have to take a quick break. I got to reel myself in. We're going to get into the UDA finals. Boom, 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 boom. And then that is going to be the end of today's episode. Okay, I'm taking a break. Bye. See you in a minute. All right, let's bust into these UDA files. Hello. That's what I've been waiting to do. Okay, I had to take... I'm going to be real with you guys. After UDA finished on Sunday, I had to fly home from Miami Sunday night. I got home. Oh, no, not Sunday night. Sorry, Monday night. I got home Monday night. I slept. I had to wake up Tuesday. I filmed my Tuesday episode. I got caught up on work. Yesterday was the first day I actually really got to sit down and organize my thoughts. Okay, so I want to make it very clear. No, I don't want to make anything very clear. I just want to start talking. All right, let's talk about who gets to be in this room at UDA College Nationals, because quite frankly, I'm sure all of you guys saw the Instagram post that I collaborated on. That came directly from my Instagram story. I posted that a few days leading up to UDA. I clocked it. I said, why is there a lack of Black or African American representation on these judging panels? For a company and an entity to profit so widely off of the roots that my ancestors grew, for you to just take complete advantage for financial gain is where I gotta look back and I gotta say something is not right here. Okay. I did see a lot of comments saying jazz as well too, and we could take it there. That's fine. I'm not gonna take it there today. I'm gonna stick to hip hop for right now. Okay. To make it very, very, very clear, this is not an attack on the judges. Okay. I cannot blame anyone for accepting this position and running with it. If they contacted me, I would have said, yes, give me the dates. I will be there. Okay. I'm not asking who's sitting to my right and who's sitting to my left. Okay. Maybe those are questions we should start asking moving forward. But to be quite honest with you, before I even saw the list of the UDA judges, it would have never crossed my mind. In years past, I looked for the judging panel on the UDA website and on social media, and I've never been able to find it. I had a little interaction with Varsity on TikTok earlier or later in last year, 2025, and they told me they post it on their UDA every single year. And then I think they posted on Instagram that they published it somewhere. So I found it. And as soon as I saw it, I said, this is not right. There is an absence of Black voices coming from inside the house. And it wasn't just the judges. Okay. This was also with the commentators as well, too. Now, if you were watching on Varsity TV or Flow Sports, you might remember that they were covering D1A hip hop in specific. There might have been other ones, but I do remember them covering D1A hip hop, and the commentators, no lick of color. Okay. So there's just these choices that are being made and no thought into them at all. And it's just one of those things that I'm like, how do the coaches, the choreographers, the dancers that are in this house, why are we not saying anything? I'm saying we like I'm in that house, but I'm quite frankly, I'm not in that house. Why are you guys not saying anything? Why are these changes not being made? Why are you not demanding for more clarity, more transparency? Or do you feel like you're getting that? Or do you feel like you're getting that? If you feel like you're getting that, leave a comment down below. Okay. Now let's talk about hip hop. Hip hop comes directly from Black and African American culture. Now it's not just because of who created it, it's because of how it moves. Grounded posture, isolations, grooves, call and response. These African movement principles pass through Black social dance and music. When we judge hip hop without Black voices in the room, we lose cultural context that defines the style. That's something I just wrote down as I was going through my thoughts and trying to organize my thoughts. Okay. And now when cultural lineage is ignored, it becomes easier to blur the lines between inspiration and appropriation. Let's take a minute to talk about who gets followed, who gets highlighted, and who gets amplified across social media. Okay. Selective visibility is what I'm going to call it. Who gets the camera and who doesn't. Okay. I did my research. Actually, I'm going to take a quick second. Now, reason why my brain goes to this is because since I've been amplifying more dancers and more teams and more coaches on my own platform with no counts given, I've learned that I have to be very selective and very choosy about who I am highlighting. Okay. Now, of course, that means with that, I want to highlight dance team union teams because I'm going to go to DTU Nationals, right? But I also want to even out how I am highlighting different teams. Okay. I want to make sure that there's some kind of loyalty tied to it. Maybe they have loyalty to me, no counts given, some of my partners, there's some kind of tie to it. I've always had this weird thing with varsity and flow. Well, it used to be flow cheer until they did flow dance, which if you know that lore, that's a whole fun lore to go down. Posted that a few weeks ago, but they've always been very selective about who they choose to highlight on social media, right? We see it. We constantly see Minnesota. You constantly see UNLV. You constantly see LSU. You constantly see Ohio, right? But there are teams who have been going to UDA who have been so loyal to varsity for years upon years upon years. And there's just a lack of visibility for these programs. And one, my heart goes out to some of these programs because I'm like, why are you loyal for all these years and they haven't even posted you once? Okay. Like, come on now. Now, I want to be very clear with these numbers that I'm about to give right now. These are just posts that I found within the past 2 months that highlighted an individual team, which means they could collaborate with this team on Instagram and there would be no other teams involved. It would just be a dedicated post to these teams. Okay, let's look at these numbers. UNLV had 7 posts. Now, another thing, sorry, these are across varsity and flow dance networks. Okay. Same thing. No. Same thing. Allegedly. Yes. Minnesota, 7 posts. LSU, 6 posts. Weber State, 6 posts. Okay. Ohio State, 5 posts. Texas Tech, 3 posts. San Diego State, 3 posts. Ole Miss, 2 posts. Okay. What do we notice about this? Okay. I'm just going to go down the line. UNLV, D1A. Minnesota, D1A, LSU, D1A, Weber State, D1, Ohio State, D1A, Texas Tech, D1A, San Diego State, D1A, Ole Miss, D1A. Weber State, out of those top, 8 teams that I just said, Weber State is the only D1 team to be featured for UDA that many times, 6 times. Let's make something very clear really quick. This was Weber State first time going to UDA. And while that is huge and the success that they had is beyond means, this is not an attack at Weber State. I am a Weber State fan, period. Okay. This is me saying UDA varsity. If there are so many teams, okay, let's talk about this is just one that pops in my head. Delaware. Delaware has been with UDA for quite some time now. We talked about them earlier. They went D1. They moved up to D1A. A huge story. They had huge success. I would have followed that story 6 posts. I would have loved to seen 6 posts of that. Okay, let's move on. Let's keep going. Stra is another team that has been with UDA for years. 1 post. Delaware, 1 post. Kentucky, 1 post. Cal State Fullerton, 1 post. GCU, 1 post. Western, 1 post. Tennessee, 1 post. Washington State, 1 post. Utah Valley, 1 post. Cincinnati, 1 post. Memphis, 1 post. Alabama, 1 post. That is all of the post. Okay. That's it. I think Northwestern Community College is the only open team that got some kind of shout out. So my question is, why did Weber State get so much love? Is it because it was their first time coming to UDA? Is it because Carter Williams is on the team and now you could pull that Dancing with the Stars mainstream? Yeah, I don't know. I just found it a little interesting. Also, some athletes got some collaboration posts as well too. I saw Raina Reed got a collab post. I saw Matt Greco got a collab post. Yeah, so I don't know. Moving on. The fan experience failure. Okay, let's talk about who actually gets access to this prestigious events. Let's think about who it would be, okay? I would think it would be parents, premier access, okay? Premier access. Alumni, 1,000% alumni, okay? Siblings. Did I say parents? Siblings? Yeah, siblings. Who do you think would get premier? I feel like those three that I said, parents, siblings, alumni, should be like directly in, right? And then maybe your childhood dance coach, okay? Let them in. But no, Brenna, who is a University of Memphis alum. And let's listen to this TikTok.
What's up, everyone? I don't normally come on here and talk. I'm terrible at it. But I just would like to talk about the experience at UDA College Nationals. I competed at this competition from 2021 to 2025. Last year was my last year, so this year was my first time as a spectator. I would first like to point out there was no bag checks going into the competition. Anything could have been brought in there. At some point, they ran out of food, water, etc. And truthfully, the competition sold out thousands and thousands of tickets ago, and they just continue to let people spend their money and buy tickets. On top of it, people fly, from states just to come watch this competition. Luckily, I live in Florida, so I was able to drive there. But I feel terrible about all the money people spent to come to this competition. Yesterday, I barely got into the competition. People were sitting on the stairs, which is a terrible hazard. Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. Well, today people lined up, I think starting around 5 in the morning to get into the arena. D1A, jazz, hip hop, all D1, etc. We're all in the same arena. Hundreds, if not thousands of people weren't able to even get in today. They wouldn't even let anybody in. They capped it. So they started putting people in overflow and watching it on a screen. Mind you, I paid for varsity TV. I think it's like $100 something. So I don't want to watch it on the screen. I bought an event ticket, so I'm expecting to watch the event instead of paying a ticket and then also paying for varsity TV. It just makes no sense. This event is truthfully, disgustingly unorganized. It's really, really, really disappointed that it's come to this and that people spend their money and, UDA, varsity, whatever, Disney, just let this happen. They're not selling out the events. They're just continuing to let people spend their money to literally not get into the competition. It's truthfully really hurt me. Like I said, last year was my last year competing, and I love my school, the dance team, with all my heart. Spent 5 years on the University of Memphis. So, I've been really excited to go and show support and experience my first time watching nationals as a spectator. I drove home today to watch hip-hop finals on the TV. I'm just truthfully really, really upset about it. I'm just speaking out, hoping that something changes next year. I'm truly, truly grateful of how much this competition has grown and how much people pay attention, to these college dance teams now and the college cheer teams. It's truly an amazing thing, and these dancers and cheerleaders really, really deserve it. But this just can't keep happening. I don't understand how we didn't learn from last year and got a bigger venue or at least cap the tickets off for the amount that this venue can hold. Last thing I would like to come on here and say is the TikToks that people are making are truly disgusting towards these athletes. We all don't do this for the placements, for the recognition, for the chance to go viral. We all do it because we love it, and we love our city, we love our school, and it really is truly disgusting on some of the things people are saying online. I'd like to point out there that half of these comments are coming from people that don't even dance or know anything really about it. There's probably so many topics about this weekend that I probably missed, but I really hope that people speak out about this to try to make a change, to make this such a better experience. To the people that weren't able to get into the competition today, I was able to get a refund from Disney, so I am going to post the number below and hope you get a refund as well. Like I said, I'm terrible at talking on these things, so I probably rambled a lot. But thank you guys for listening, and I hope things get better.
Okay, so as someone who goes to events, okay, listen, I love a good festival. I love going to live shows. There's something very icky about overselling event tickets. And you would think with what happened last season, Varsity would have learned their lesson. I listened to a podcast that Varsity did. It was this 3-parter, and they said that they had it all under control. They had their ducks in a row, and they were prepared for it. If that is the case, did anyone else see the videos? The lining up 5:30 a.m., which is, I get it, right? How many years is it going to be that Varsity is going to keep saying, all right, yeah, we get it. We're going to fix it. Yeah, we got plans in place. We got ducks in order. Stop overselling events. It's that simple. Don't oversell events or sell assigned seats, okay? It's really that simple, and I get it. Well, what about the parents that go here, go there? Okay, do it in sessions. I don't know. You're Varsity. Figure it out. You got $4.4 billion in the bank. I don't know. Go hire Elon Musk. He'll tell you how to do it. Be nice, Kyle. Be nice. So I feel for Brenna. I feel for the alumni that got turned down. I feel for the fans that weren't able to go. People kept asking me if I was going to go, and I said not this season because I needed to see how Varsity was going to handle the crowd control. And guess what? I'm definitely not going to go next season now. Does Varsity care? No. Do I care? Yeah, I would love to watch UDA at least one time in my life. So it's unfortunate that, these alum and family members and, people are missing the performances and even missing the awards. And it's unfortunate when it comes to the awards that even Varsity cannot handle the awards, okay? Because the score sheets got released early. And you know what's bad? They weren't even released to the coaches via email. They were posted on Varsity TV. When it's this big of an event, when you have this many public eyes on you, the way you dot your I's and cross your T's need to be so important, because one little slip up like that and it is done. It ruins the experience for the coaches. It ruins the experience for the parents. It ruins the experience for the people that paid for a ticket, maybe not even got in. And it's just not the prestige that I would think this kind of dance team competition would be at. These results were exposed to the public. Athletes did not receive awards yet. And guess what? This was not the first time this happened. This happened before in 2023. I covered it. It's poetic at this point. It is poetic. Let's watch the video.
This past weekend, UDA might have done one of the worst things in UDA history. Let's talk about it. As I'm sitting down, getting ready for bed, I received this DM saying that UDA may have sent out the final standings for D1A Jazz before the official awards. At first I was a little skeptical, and then however, a few hours later, I get this DM. Someone sent me this TikTok showing that Varsity and UDA has sent an apology to all of the coaches and athletes, saying to keep it as confidential as possible so that way the official awards can be during the award ceremony. However, from what I've heard, that wasn't the case. A lot of the athletes found out before getting onto the award stage. To me, this is truly heartbreaking. I can only imagine what it feels like to be an athlete, whether you're Minnesota and you're about to win, or you're Ohio, you're about to get second, or you're about to get sixth, seventh. Either way, getting those results before you actually know, I can only imagine the pain that must feel. Being able to be awarded with your specific awards on that stage is definitely a memory that you try to work towards all season before getting on that stage. UDA is a prestigious competition for collegiate dancers. Collegiate dancers from all over the nation train for months to make it to the stage to compete against some of the best dance teams, not just in the nation, but in the world. A lot of dance teams have been able to make a name for themselves and grow their platforms by competing just at this competition. But it is what it is. This is one of those situations that UDA truly can't do anything to fix. What do you expect them to do? Take the title away from Minnesota and give it to Ohio or all the other competitors that also received their results before actually being on the award stage? However, that's it for this one. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, so there it is. Back in the day when I first started covering, and I was a faceless account. If you were there and if you know what a time we had, okay? Let's move on to something. This is a very important message. This comes from the former University of Minnesota coach. She coached at the highest level and she also judged at the highest level. She's not commenting from outside the house. Listen, she helped build the house. This is Amber Jackson. Please listen to this video here.
All right, here's my hot take. I've now posted 3 videos about Division 1A and about everything that I loved. And here's the hot take. Here's where the criticism needs to be coming, is not on the dancers, not on the teams, not on the judges, but on varsity as a whole. This is a $4 billion company. They need to make some adjustments. One, with judging is all I'm gonna focus on. Start paying the judges more. I've been a judge at high school nationals. You get $900. Back in the day, we got like $150. They need to pay the judges more. 2, judges can't talk to each other while they're judging. They do this artificial, try to keep the judges within execution, within certain points, and then the judges between execution and choreo within certain points. When I coached in 2002, we did Mississippi. It was the first time anyone danced to one song. We got scores of 74 and 92. I'm glad we did, because I knew the reason why we ended up in 4th is because some people weren't ready for it. These artificial numbers of ranges are not actually doing anybody justice. It's just allowing the loudest judge to determine what the scores will be. If judges need to check with other people to know their scores, they're not qualified enough. And then it muddies all the reasons of why you are lower or higher than someone else. And then lastly for me is that there should be at the beginning of every division an announcement of every single judge. Because if you're not comfortable putting your name on what you're doing publicly, you shouldn't be doing it. And that's my take on this, from being on the scenes of both a coaching standpoint and a judge standpoint. I think we need to hold varsity accountable to doing what I'm asking. All right, that's my hot take. I don't think I'm gonna end up posting this, but if I do, okay.
All right, so that is Amber Jackson. Like I said, she was the former University of Minnesota coach, coached at the highest level, judged at the highest level. Now, I love this message because it's not towards the dancers, okay? All of these complaints that we're hearing, the uproar from the community does not need to be placed towards the dancers, okay? It is not the teams. All of this negativity going towards the teams is unacceptable. It's immature, and you don't belong in dance team if that's the way that you're choosing to go. It is not towards the judges. They were hired for a job. Make your bag. Varsity. That is who it is. It is varsity. However, I would like to add, because we're getting there, okay? We are getting there. Sometimes it is the coaches and the people in power that need to be held accountable, and we're going to get there in a little bit later. But first off, what is this judge's pay? You're paying $900 for a school nationals event, and you're expecting quality judging? I would not accept that job. I'm sorry, not for $900. I could go do Uber Eats for a weekend and make twice that money. If that is still, it's almost hard for me to believe that that is what the rate is today. If you judged, actually, no, I take that back because I know who did and I could get the inside information, but I'm not for public. It's crazy that it used to be $150 for the weekend. That is absolutely crazy. Why is it crazy? Because like she said, it is a multi-billion-dollar company. It is unacceptable. Multi-billion, let's put the number on there. $4.75 billion. Okay. Now, Varsity Brands posted it. You can go on Varsity Brands and find all of the information yourself. Now, what's very interesting, they didn't mention the 4.75. I forgot what it was. $4.75 billion in here. Listen, I encourage many of you to go out there and do your due diligence and do your research and look into who you're investing your money into, okay? But when judges aren't paid properly, judging is no longer like a passion at that point. It's just a side gig. These judges are just accepting the job. It's a side gig. It's not a responsibility to them. And for that, we start seeing it trickle down in our industry. Unfortunately, we do. Hip hop is moving in the direction that it is because of the judging that is at these varsity events. I love the example, and I'm not going to lie, I used to think the other way around, okay? I used to think having a score, let's say I got a 90 from one judge and then I got a 81 from another judge, it would drive me crazy, okay? Because I was like, how is it that inconsistent? But at the end of the day, it is all bias. It is all subjective. There is no objective point to dance team on the scorecard. And I'm not going to lie, after she said that, I sat back and I actually thought about it and I was like, wow, that is true. It would make more sense to me if one judge gave me like she said, a 74 and the other judge gave me a 92. But with that, there does need to be a level of explanation. If you're scoring at a low rate or if you're dropping my score a lot, then yeah, I am going to need some kind of explanation on why that is happening. The last point, name the judge every single time. This takes me back to when I was growing up, when I first started going to competitions. One of my favorite moments, I don't know why, one of my favorite moments, actually I do know why, would be when we're getting ready to perform, you're sitting in the stands, and right before a division happens, they would have each individual judge stand up and they would read their bio. This is why it would make me excited, okay? I would be sitting there watching and I'm like, wow, they just got off tour with Lady Gaga. They danced for Danity Kane. They were in a Chris Brown music video and they're going to be watching me. Yeah, I want them to judge me. But it's hard when I don't know who's going up there and judging me. Why are we not putting these judges on a pedestal when they're writing history for our sport? There needs to be representation. There needs to be transparency. There needs to be public trust. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about who gets to tell the story. Okay. It's been my issue that I've had for quite some time. And it even happened to me today. Okay. Flow Sports and Varsity keeps trying to copyright all of my material. Okay. I am actually one strike away. By the time this is posted, I'm going to be real with you guys. I wouldn't doubt it if my TikTok is gone. Okay. I posted a fun little the UDA files on my Instagram story. Okay. Oh, it's popping off. It's getting the views. It's getting the likes. Okay. Yeah. Like 2 hours later, I started getting copyright strikes, IP strikes. They're coming for me. My stuff's probably going to be taken down. That's great. Subscribe to the No Counts Given podcast because I might not have a TikTok soon. It's okay. Life moves on. Okay. But I have a friend, okay, that was at the event and was doing content at the event, posting content at the event. Okay. This friend, 2 days after UDA ended, got emails from Flow Dance. This is all alleged, by the way. Emails from Flow Dance, emails from Varsity Legal. They have to take down the videos immediately. And I am pretty sure it was like worded as a threat than it was like, hey, take it down. No, hey, you better take it down or else. You know what I mean? And this is not new. All of my UDA reaction videos from last year got taken down. Flow Sports got them all taken down. I know they're working on trying to do it this year. So I guess stay tuned. Now, listen, here are the facts that I do know. At the event, because these videos that my friend was recording were at the event. This was a public event, okay? There was no visible signage prohibiting recording, okay? On stream encouragement to take photos and videos. If you were watching the stream, you know, he kept saying, this is a fun event, everyone. Please take all the photos and videos you would like. However, just a friendly reminder, no live streaming. They said no live streaming, okay? These weren't live stream videos. These were directly from the camera roll posted to TikTok. Like, come on now. And then the content was filmed from the spectator access area. So it's like there's no wrongdoing going on. So why are we being forced to take down our content? Funny fact, actually, when I first got my email last year from Flow Sports, when they told me to take down all of my content, it's because they said my content was a harm to the community. Please explain to me how me reacting to a dance routine is a harm to the community, and why has no one ever reached out to me about being a harm to this community? Listen, here's the point. There is a narrative that is always trying to be painted, but independent media will always tell you different stories. They will probably tell you the truth, to be real with you. Athletes get visibility beyond official channels. These are why these things matters. This is why fans being able to go to the event, enjoy the event, share their experience at the event, content creators like me and content creators that were at home talking about routines. So that way these athletes and these teams and these coaches could get the visibility that they deserve. And that is simply what we are all trying to do. And then on top of that, start engaging more deeply. They start getting a connection to these teams. They start understanding more what's going on on these stages. And then point blank period, transparency increases trust. Now we have to get into a more serious note. Let me finish my coffee really quick before we get here. All right, listen, trigger warning. I might be possibly talking about okay? I might be talking about a choreographer who has allegations, okay? If these things trigger you, I highly encourage you to not log out, exit out, okay? But don't forget to give this video a like and a thumbs up, and leave a comment, subscribe. And if you are leaving me now, I do hope to see you next week, okay? All right, God, I hope I say his name right. Rudy Abreu. Rudy's a Bruin, that's for sure. So you think you can dance finalist accused of sexual misconduct with a minor? Okay, I hate that it's even hard for me to like get it out of my mouth. The dancer for this artist, including Camila Cabello and J-Lo, has been accused in a widely circulated media post of inappropriate behavior with a then 14-year-old aspiring performer. Now, Rudy, he was a finalist on the 11th season of So You Think You Can Dance, a dancer for artists including Camila Cabello, J-Lo, we already said it, okay? Now, Charlie Bennett, a 22-year-old dancer who has also worked for J-Lo and Rihanna's clothing line Savage X Fenty, shared in the video that she first encountered Abreu in 2016 while touring with a dance convention. Okay, listen, you could go on and you can read it. She also posted a video. Just type in his name, Rudy Abreu. It's spelt up here, yeah? Just go and type it in. Watch the video, okay? Why I bring this up, okay? He choreographed, allegedly, okay, I saw the list online, allegedly because Penn State has not confirmed or denied. Point blank period. No trophy will ever justify endangering an athlete, period. This is not the first time we've seen this in the past few years. We saw this with Travis Wall choreographing My Way with The Ohio State University. Like, we've seen this happen and it's absurd and disgusting. I think there needs to be accountability taken. And when you are deciding to not credit them in your post because you know what that is going to bring from the public, that is disgusting, only goes to show your intentions of wanting to win. Now, let's just say one day I woke up and I said, okay, today we're going to hire an SA abuser and we are going to go with it because I need a ring on this finger. Okay, I guess I'm going to call Rudy. I guess I'm calling Rudy. All right. Hey, Rudy, will you come in and choreograph a routine? Yeah. Oh, you have a concept you like already? Yeah? Oh, great. I love it. Okay, come in. Okay, yeah. Bam, he's in. Oh, why are we dancing in a straitjacket? We're starting with our arms crossed. We're dancing with a straitjacket, which I get it. The lyrics are vulnerable. The lyrics are a little bit more romantic. It could imply healing. It could imply connection. It could imply reassurance. Why are we in a straitjacket? Okay, we're restricted. We're restricted from something that we're obsessed over. We have this loss of control. There's like some emotional confinement. Hang on for a second. The routine opens up and here's the lyrics. Can't take my eyes off of you. Now, I know as artists, sometimes we create art and we're not even aware of what we're creating, but I'm sorry, there was a clear level of what the is going on in this routine. And as someone who is truly a big fan of Penn State, I have to say I am genuinely disappointed. And I don't even think I need to explain myself any further. I am genuinely disappointed because at the end of the day, I will never condone hiring an alleged abuser. No trophy is worth my dancer's safety, mental, physical, and emotional. Period. If you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe wherever you decide to watch this. I know I didn't nearly cover everything that happened at UDA this past weekend, but there were just some things that I felt like were a little bit more heavy on my mind that I could put more energy towards rather than the results, to be quite honest with you guys. For those that have been watching me for the past couple years, do reactions and came on and then started following the podcast and, you know, just all of the things. I just want to say thank you so much. Every UDA, I am reminded now of like the community that I have built with all of you guys. And I'll be on live and some names will pop up and I just remember it like immediately because we've like have this, we just like are in this UDA College Nationals journey together. With that, I don't just talk about UDA. In fact, I talk about so much more other things than UDA and varsity. And I have a lot of fun things that are coming to the podcast, a lot of fun things surrounding Dance Team Union Nationals, the College Classic, some events that I'm going to be going to, hosting something very fun in March. Just so many things that are going on. And I just want you guys to come for the ride. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I will hopefully see all of you guys Tuesday. That's my next episode. Bye, everyone.